30 days of walking after dinner sounds too easy until you see what it does to blood sugar, blood pressure, and sleep. If a tiny habit can move three big systems, either it is magic or we have been underestimating physiology. Tonight we run an experiment. Same dinner, same person, but we add one variable: walking, right after eating. Right after dinner, digestion starts releasing glucose into your bloodstream, whether you feel it or not. Insulin is not the villain. It is the traffic controller. But big post-meal surges create jams that ripple into cravings and fatigue. And blood pressure is not just a clinic. Number your vessels respond minute by minute to food, stress, and movement. In 20 minutes, you will know what changes first, what takes weeks, and who should be cautious with post-meal walking. This is not a motivation story. It is a system story. And systems can be nudged without heroic discipline. Rule 1. We do not change dinner yet. We change only the walk. So the results mean something. If you have ever felt heavy, restless, or hungry again at night, you have felt the post-dinner ripple effect. The real battle is not the meal. It is the hours after meal where glucose swings can rewrite your night. We will track peak height, how long it lasts, and how your nervous system behaves when you move versus when you sit. Different dinners will appear, but portions stay consistent because dose and timing matter more than internet food morality. If you have chest pain, severe dizziness, or unstable heart disease, stop and seek medical care. No challenge is worth that risk. Now we build the timeline. What happens in the first 2 hours after dinner, and why walking changes the movie. After a meal, glucose rises, insulin responds, and blood flow shifts to the gut. Your body becomes a digestion factory. Walking recruits muscle to absorb glucose, so the same dinner creates a smaller spike with less insulin required. Control room is online. We are watching trend: glucose peak, time above baseline, evening blood pressure drift, and sleep fragmentation. A spike is not the only problem. Long plateaus matter because insulin stays elevated and hunger often returns faster. Movement boosts endothelial signals that help vessels relax, which can support healthier blood pressure patterns over time. A gentle walk can shift your autonomic balance toward recovery, especially compared with collapsing on the couch after eating. If digestion calms sooner, sleep can deepen sooner. Less reflux, less restlessness, and fewer micro-awakenings. Some older adults get post-meal blood pressure drops, so the walk must be gentle, supported, and stopped if dizzy. We keep it simple, 10 to 15 minutes, easy pace, same dinner window, and we log sleep and symptoms daily. This is not cardio training. It is a metabolic nudge small enough to repeat, strong enough to change the curve. Immediately after dinner, walking creates an alternate route for fuel into muscle rather than leaving it floating in the bloodstream. Within one session, many people see a flatter curve, not a miracle, but a measurable shift in delivery speed. Blood pressure responds slowly. One night proves nothing, but repeated evenings can shift the baseline in a safer direction. When you are less physiologically busy after dinner, sleep onset becomes easier, like lowering the volume before trying to rest. Now the conflict: real life stacks variable stress, screens, alcohol, and late snacks, and each can sabotage the clean experiment. A heavier meal raises the stakes, because more carbs and fat can extend digestion and keep glucose elevated for longer. Dessert is not evil, but timing matters. Sugar after dinner can add a second wave when your body wants to wind down. When you sit still, glucose has fewer exits, and the body handles the same meal with a bigger insulin workload. The danger is not one spike, it is the swing, because swings predict cravings that pull you back to the kitchen. Stress hormones can raise glucose by pushing fuel out of the liver, even if dinner was not bigger than usual. Cortisol and adrenaline treat stress like a sprint, and they keep glucose available useful short term, costly when repeated nightly. Late dinners compress the buffer before sleep, so digestion competes with recovery, and you feel heavy, hot, or restless. If reflux shows up, it fragments sleep, and fragmented sleep worsens next day glucose handling, a loop that looks like aging but is not. Screens add light and arousal, delaying sleep and increasing appetite signals. So the walk must be paired with a calmer night routine. Control room shows the truth. Walking helps, but stress and late nights can overpower it, unless we manage the whole stack. This is not a sprint too intense, can spike stress response. The goal is easy conversational pace that supports digestion. For joints, choose flat ground and supportive shoes. Consistency beats intensity, especially for midlife knees and ankles. If you feel lightheaded after meals, slow down, hydrate, and consider walking later safety first, data second. Most benefits appear with 10 to 20 minutes. You are not earning calories. You are changing glucose traffic patterns. Real life includes family, schedules, and weather, so we design the habit to survive weekends, not just perfect weekdays. When weather ruins the plan, you walk indoors, hallway loops still count, because physiology does not care where steps happen. Even on travel nights, a short walk can prevent that restaurant meal hangover, feeling of heaviness and restless sleep. You are not chasing perfection. Normal humans have bumps. Your goal is smaller swings and faster recovery. Day to day, glucose changes first. Blood pressure trends take longer, and sleep improves when evenings become calmer overall. Week 1 outcome: modestly flatter post-dinner glucose, fewer late snack impulses, and a slightly easier wind down into sleep. Week 2 is where the habit becomes less effort, and the body starts expecting movement after food like a normal rhythm. Notice recovery time. Returning to baseline sooner means less insulin exposure and less chance of that hungry rebound later. Walking improves insulin efficiency. The same key works with less force, because muscle becomes more receptive to glucose. That post-dinner drowsy slump often improves, because glucose swings are smaller and blood flow is balanced rather than stagnant. Blood pressure benefits show up subtly, often in morning readings, small shifts that matter when repeated for years. Movement supports vascular function over time. It won't cure hypertension alone, but it can reduce strain and improve resilience. If you fall asleep faster, it is not placebo. Your body is less stimulated by ongoing digestion and less primed for late snacking. Many people wake less at night because reflux risk drops and the nervous system shifts toward recovery after gentle movement. Stability affects hormones. Fewer swings can quiet hunger signals, which makes discipline feel easier without forcing it. Control room reads week 2, smaller peaks, shorter duration, slightly calmer nighttime heart rate, and fewer snack loop events. Food still matters. More fiber at dinner slows absorption, and walking stacks with fiber for an even smoother curve. Simple sequencing protein and fiber first reduces peak, and the walk then accelerates clearance, a 1-2 punch. When cravings hit, walking can interrupt the script 10 minutes, gives your brain time to de-escalate the urge. Movement is not just calories. It changes brain chemistry and stress tone, which is why it can lower the need for dessert. As evenings calm, HRV often improves, an indirect sign your autonomic system is spending more time in recovery mode. If the stack is too heavy: late meal, alcohol, stress, walking helps less, and the fix becomes a whole routine. If you drink, keep it earlier. Late alcohol fragments sleep and can erase some benefits of post-meal movement. Caffeine too late raises arousal, worsens sleep, and makes next day glucose worse. Your walk can't fully outvote that. For older joints, shorten stride, keep posture tall, and choose flat surfaces. Your goal is repeatable comfort, not soreness. Week 2 conclusion. The walk becomes a nightly reset button, less glucose chaos, fewer cravings, and a smoother runway into sleep. Week 3 we test the hardest variable, stress, because stress can raise glucose and blood pressure even when dinner is identical. When stress comes first, glucose can rise without extra food. Your body releases fuel for action, not because you ate wrong. Cortisol is protective in emergencies, but chronic activation keeps the system on high alert and makes recovery harder. Blood pressure spikes during stress are normal, but frequent spikes create vascular, where your goal is reducing frequency and duration. On stress days, walking acts like a pressure release valve, still not perfect, but noticeably better than sitting and stewing. Now we go deeper. Why a walk changes three systems at once: glucose handling, vascular tone, and sleep circuitry. After dinner, muscle can store glucose as glycogen. Walking increases demand, so glucose is cleared into storage instead of lingering. A smaller insulin response matters, because lower insulin exposure supports less hunger rebound and may improve long-term sensitivity. Movement increases shear stress on arteries, prompting healthier endothelial signaling, one reason regular walking supports blood pressure over time. Control room maps the network. Better evenings create better sleep, and better sleep improves next-day glucose tolerance and cravings. After meals, blood shifts to digestion. In some older adults, BP drops, so the walk must be gentle, monitored, and sometimes delayed. Use the talk test. If you can speak comfortably, intensity is right. We want circulation, not a stress hormone surge. Walking helps gastric motility, reducing reflux pressure for many people, which can translate into fewer awakenings and better sleep quality. When reflux and digestion noise drop, the brain allows deeper sleep. Deeper sleep improves insulin sensitivity and lowers stress reactivity. Stability reduces late snacking. Fewer swings means fewer emergency hunger signals that feel urgent and irresistible. The goal is metabolic. Quiet time at night, less digestion, less elevated glucose, more recovery signaling for vessels and brain. Reducing variability matters. Steadier blood pressure means less wear on arteries, even if the average number changes only modestly. Better sleep reduces the morning caffeine rescue cycle, and that alone can improve blood pressure and glucose stability later. Weekends are the trap. Later dinners and skipped walks undo momentum. So we design a flexible version that still happens. Control room reveals it. Consistency beats intensity. So we set a minimum 8 minutes, so weekends do not reset the system. On busy nights, 8 minutes is enough to keep the habit alive and deliver meaningful glucose clearance benefits. If you can't walk outside, indoor laps or gentle stairs work. Just keep effort easy, especially if blood pressure is sensitive. Social nights succeed when walking becomes part of conversation movement. Does not steal joy. It can extend it. Track simple outcomes: minutes walked, bedtime, awakenings, morning pressure, and cravings, not obsessive numbers, just patterns. Stop immediately for chest pain, severe dizziness, or faintness. Those are medical red flags, not pushing through moments. If you are on glucose lowering or blood pressure medications, your response can differ. Coordinate with clinician before big routine changes. Walking helps, but portions still matter. Smaller dinners plus walking reduce reflux and glucose duration more than either alone. When dinner shifts earlier, walking becomes even more powerful because it protects a buffer that your sleep physiology desperately wants. By midweek 3, you start predicting your curve, and prediction is control because you are no longer surprised into snacking. Now we convert this into a plan. You can keep simple rules, realistic pacing, and clear expectations for what changes by day 30. 30 days works because repetition rewires routines. You do not need extremes. You need the same small action most nights. Rule 1, 10 to 15 minutes at conversational pace. If you finish breathless, you turn recovery into another stressor. Rule 2, start soon after dinner, before the couch traps you. The early window catches the rising glucose wave. Rule 3, keep a minimum dose for chaotic nights, 8 minutes, because consistency protects identity and keeps momentum alive. Rule 4, choose a joint-friendly route. The best plan is painless enough to repeat, especially for midlife and older bodies. Rule 5, if dizzy or shaky, slow down or stop. Safety beats streaks, and you can walk later when stable. Food support rule, balanced dinners reduce extremes, so the walk becomes a finishing move, not a desperate rescue. Sleep support rule, reduce screens after dinner. Walking plus calmer light protects melatonin and makes sleep arrive without a fight. Stress support rule, Take 1 minute to breathe before walking. A calmer nervous system needs less emergency glucose. Track blood pressure weekly. Same time, same posture. Trends matter. Single numbers do not, especially when stress and sleep vary. Track sleep simply, bedtime, awakenings, and morning energy. You will often feel improvements before any dramatic lab numbers change. Expectations: glucose curves improve first. Sleep often follows, and blood pressure shifts more slowly because vascular remodeling takes time. Around day 10, the habit becomes less mental work, and the body stops treating the walk like an unusual event. By 2 weeks, many people notice fewer late cravings because the evening becomes predictable and glucose swings are smaller. Control room at week 2, smaller peaks, shorter duration, calmer nighttime physiology proof that tiny movement can shift big systems. By 3 weeks, the walk becomes your stress-proofing ritual when life hits. You still have one reliable reset action. If symptoms persist: reflux, dizziness, extreme fatigue, do not force it. Adapt timing, intensity, and get evaluated when needed. For older adults, use support, slower pace, and shorter duration. The goal is gentle circulation, not training for a marathon. If you take BP medications or glucose-lowering drugs, coordinate changes. Improving sensitivity can change needs, and safety requires oversight. The comparison is clear. Walking nights show fast recovery and calmer sleep signals, even when dinner is the same. Day 30 is not a superhero transformation. It is a quieter body, less spiky evenings, better sleep runway, and steadier mornings. Glucose summary: lower post-meal peaks and faster returns to baseline, especially after carb-heavy dinners that used to hit hardest. Blood pressure summary: modest average changes, bigger improvements in variability, and recovery small shifts that matter over years. Sleep summary: fewer awakenings and easier onset for many, because digestion and reflux quiet sooner and the nervous system downshifts. The couch will always offer comfort, but the walk offers leverage, and leverage is what creates change without suffering. This is not a cure for hypertension or diabetes. It is a supportive habit that improves physiology alongside medical care when needed. People with insulin resistance, reflux, poor sleep, or high stress often feel the biggest difference because their evenings have more to gain. Be cautious with unstable heart disease, severe dizziness, or frequent low pressure. Tailor pace, timing, and seek professional guidance. Final report saved: fewer spikes, calmer nights, better recovery built from a habit so small it is almost insulting. Now, the takeaway: 3 mechanisms, 3 rules, and 1 question that decides whether you'll actually keep this for life. Mechanism 1. Muscle uptake walking opens glucose doors without requiring huge insulin, so the post-meal wave shrinks and settles faster. Mechanism 2. Vascular tone gentle movement supports endothelial function, helping blood pressure recover after meals and stress. Mechanism 3. Sleep protection: less digestive noise and reflux means fewer awakenings, and better sleep improves next-day insulin sensitivity. 3 rules: walk 10 to 15 minutes. Keep it easy and do it most nights. Consistency beats intensity every time. The habit survives when it is scalable. Your 8-minute floor prevents all or nothing failure. Which is the real enemy? Measure what matters: fewer cravings, steadier energy, better sleep, and calmer morning pressure, not chasing a perfect graph. Common mistakes: walking too hard, eating too late, scrolling in bed, and stacking alcohol. Those sabotage recovery more than dinner alone. If your change feels modest, that is, normal modest improvements repeated daily are exactly how cardiovascular risk shifts over time. As a physician, I prefer habits with low downside and high repeatability. Post-dinner walking is one of the safest levers we have. Tonight's hero is not a supplement, it is your shoes. The plot twist is that biology rewards boring consistency more than dramatic promises. What blocks your post-dinner walk: weather, safety, fatigue, or family schedule? And what minimum version could you commit to for 30 days? When you respect the system: glucose, vessels, Sleep the system respect you back, with quieter nights and steadier mornings. In 30 days, the pattern becomes clear. Walking after dinner smooths glucose, supports vascular recovery, and protects sleep from digestive chaos. Final safety, stop for chest pain, severe dizziness, or fainting. Get evaluated. Your health story is bigger than any experiment. Start tonight with 10 minutes at easy pace. If that is too much, do 8. Your future self will feel the compounding effect. Share patterns, not perfection. What dinner, what duration, what bedtime, and what change, because community learning beats solo guessing. If this helped, subscribe, and share. We are turning everyday routines into science movies your body can actually use. Remember, you do not need extreme workouts. You need calm evenings, because calm evenings create calm nights, and calm nights create healthier mornings. Trends over moments. Ignore one weird night. Respect the repeating pattern, and you will change health without living in fear. 30 days later, the lesson is simple. A small walk after dinner can rewrite your metabolic night, and the rewrite is yours.